From there, you're gonna throw the left arm, shoulder back. Yeah, stack the feet, arm comes across, arm comes over, and flex. Good. Looking straight up over here. Beautiful, okay? In this pose here, from my perspective here, you're hitting it perfectly. We wanna make sure that there's space between here and the arm, which there is. We wanna make sure that this chest is fully engaged. We wanna make sure that this shoulder here is internally rotated. We wanna make sure that there's a break in this elbow here, as well as a break in this elbow over here as well. And you wanna just make sure that your chin is elevated as it is. Good, lock in, row for the Christmas tree, good. Flare out, chin elevated, beauty, okay? Don't forget to pull the hammies in as much as you can. I know that they're engaged, but think about it, chin up, good. You could probably even bring the elbows up just a little bit higher. That looks great. Everything's fully lit up, bro. You look like an anatomy chart right here. Yeah. What is that?
Hey, what's up, guys? Wanted to make a quick video on yesterday's posing session I went through with Mr. Eren Legend. So yesterday I participated in a posing class, or it was actually a one-on-one session with Eren, and I want to give a big shout out and make a huge recommendation to anyone who's in the Toronto region. Aaron's not in Ottawa very often anymore, but if anybody can pose with Aaron, I highly recommend it. The level of professionalism yesterday was on point. I had never seen anyone with such good presentation, efficiency with their time, and such good communication. And the teaching style really worked for me. Now, to give you some context, I have learning disabilities, huge learning disabilities, and one of them is with my motor skills and picking up motor patterns. So if I'm to play a sport or something, it takes me a very long time to learn. It took me forever to learn basketball, which, you know, was my passion in my teens. And as a young adult, I had a lot of problems, you know, picking up stuff like martial arts, how to throw, how to use my body in certain ways. So when people communicate, you know, how to position my body in a certain way, it generally doesn't go very well. And in past experiences, not everyone, you know, there's a select few who have actually lost their patience with me. And that's the most frustrating thing, because you feel like you've been defeated, and there's no way. In fact, someone lost their patience with me the night before a show, when they were teaching me something on the fly that I need to learn for that show. And it was probably the most disheartening experience in bodybuilding I had ever had, because I really felt terrible and I really wanted to do well. Okay, so that being said, Aaron was great with giving me verbal cues. He was great at explaining why posing is necessary. Now, this may not seem really contextual, but at the end of the day, I think if you're new to bodybuilding, and the way he described it was beautiful. I mean, you can tell Aaron gives seminars because it's very philosophical, and you know, he put a different perspective on it. And now, you know, going in with that perspective, I do think, you know, with my presentation, I will be more confident, just alone on what he said, because I know I'm representing myself. So usually he gives a 45-minute spiel on how, you know, posing is a manifestation of your personality on stage. Now, I mean, this seems pretty common sense or commonsensical, but what he's saying is it's your inner presentation, and it's your inner feelings that are being projected, and not just, you know, feelings of insecurity or feelings of shyness or whatever it may be. It's your personality. If you're a nice guy, if you like to help people, if you know, you're a shining, you know, kind of person, and you have that aura, you want to present it on stage. If you're that prick or whatever, that you know, takes advantage or sometimes, you know, does the wrong thing, that also can show on stage, and sometimes that can be advantageous too, because that's that individual's personality. That individual may be like and I won't say, you know, not necessarily a prick, but someone very assertive. Look at Arnold, for instance. He really had a stage presence, and I think his stage presence said it all. It was like that smile. He looked at his competition, and you know, this guy, what's he doing up on stage next to me? He has nothing on me. He's my child, you know. Just, I know he acted it up in Pumping Iron, but to some extent, I really do think Arnold had that element of self-belief. And it did when he was younger, I think, bleed into the way he treated others. Now that he's older, I know Arnold, I see his videos, and I think he's very conscientious, and he's a great person, in fact. So I don't know if he ever really was that way, but he definitely had a way of presenting that. And that was his aura on stage. He was the hard ass, the asshole, and the guy who would get it done. That's not me. That would never be me because it's just not in the cards. But what I do have is my ability to shine through. And, you know, I think I have a lot of love for the sport. And I think that's going to come across in my presentation now because I realize that this is my inner self speaking through my motor patterns, through my art, through my presentation. So I'm really going to work on harnessing that, and I can see it in the video, and I can see it in my fluidity. And as soon as he gave me the little spiel, my whole perception changed, my whole persona changed, my confidence changed, my smile changed, everything went, you know, I got it. So anyways, reach out to Eren. He's a true professional. Not only is he articulate, he, like I said, the verbal cueing, the physical cueing. If you're a visual person, he goes through the visual component too. He shows you, and he asks you, how would you like me? Would you like me to show you first? Would you like to do it with me? How do you feel comfortable learning this? Everything he did was 100% right. Maybe right for me, but I think right for anyone because he accommodates to different learning styles. I can tell right now. Look in the video and listen to his feedback. Listen to how he delivers the feedback. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of the cueing stuff and setup, but he was phenomenal with that. It took me 20 minutes. I forgot how to do quarter turns completely. It took me 20 minutes to get it down really well, which for me is phenomenal because last time it took me like 2 hours. The guy stormed off, said forget it, you're not figuring it out, practice all night. So I was a little frustrated, and this guy he was helping me out of the goodness of his heart. So I can't really hate on him. He wasn't a coach or anything. He was actually someone pretty important. So all right, check out the video footage. This is going to be my progress. By the way, I'm 9 weeks out. You know, you'll see what I look like in the video. I'm an anatomy chart right now. The lighting is poor in here. I'm holding a little bit of water. I'm flat. You know, all the stuff I always say, whatever it is. Let's just say I haven't done the manipulations to come in sharp on show day. Hopefully that all pans out, but you know, I feel that I could jump on stage in 2 weeks very comfortably at this point. And I'm, you know, 9 weeks out. So you don't need to see me pose here because I'm going to be doing a lot of posing in this video. And reach out to Eren. I'll include his information here. If you are doing a show, I highly recommend you reach out to him. He is worth every penny. Did I mention he's efficient too? I mean, it was like an hour, but it was so efficient. Like, sure, Eren's rates are a little bit higher than some, but you know what you get in that 1 hour is like mind blown. You will learn quick, and that would have taken me 3 or 4 sessions just to learn what I did. So it's worth every penny. He's super efficient, and just I was beyond impressed. Beyond impressed, Eren. If you're watching this, man, beyond impressed with your service. Okay, all right. Eren Legend, by the way, IFBB Pro, did the Olympia last year. GAT sponsored athlete. You know, I know my name's kind of a big deal, but he is kind of a big deal for real. Muscle Mag has him featured. You know, several covers. He has his own issues. Other than Canadian magazines, he's also in, American magazines. He's an international model. His resume goes on and on. But the Olympia, I think, says it all. If you do the Olympia, you're definitely, one of the top guys in the world. So, okay, check it out. I got some footage, and hope you enjoy.
Good. You got it. And assessing from here looks really good. Only thing I'm going to say is open this up just a little bit more.
Right,
pull
and get that chest.
Yeah, because your chest is already there. This, you could probably bring it back a little bit more. Good. So we don't want it to be over the glutes. We want it to be just behind, and that's going to help you open up your lats even more. Because remember, wide, broad upper body, tight waist. You have a very tight waist, and you have a very upper, broad upper body, right? But think about it. Chin up, chin up. Good. You could probably even bring the elbows up just a little bit higher. That looks great. Everything's fully lit up, bro. You look like an anatomy chart right here. Yeah. What is that?